Hello everybody. In this lesson, we will study about a pair of equations which are not linear but can be reduced to linear form by making suitable substitutions. We will see how to go about solving such problems. Welcome to the lesson. Let's try this. Solve the pair of equations 2 over x plus 3 over y equal to 13. 5 over x minus 4 over y equal to minus 2. Can I write this equation as 2 times 1 over x instead of 2 over x plus 3 over y, I write it as 3 times 1 over y equal to 13. Let me label this as my equation 1. And this equation I can write it as 5 times 1 over x minus 4 times 1 over y equal to negative 2. Let us label this equation as 2. Now, what we can do is let p be equal to 1 over x and q be equal to 1 over y. So now our equation 1 and 2 will look like 2 times p, because p is 1 over x, plus 3 times q is equal to 13. And the equation 2 will look like 5p minus 4q is equal to negative 2. Let us label these equations as equation 3 and equation 4. Now this equation is a pair of linear equations in two variables p and q, which we can easily solve by any method, either by substitution or elimination, any method you want. Let's use the method of elimination and solve this problem. By using elimination, if we have to solve this, let's try to eliminate the variable q. So if we have to eliminate q, the coefficients have to be the same and the signs have to be opposite. The signs are already opposite, but the coefficients of q are not the same. In order to make it same, we learned we will multiply the first equation by the coefficient of q in the second equation, that is 4. And we will multiply the second equation by the coefficient of q of the first equation, which is 3. Now, our new equation will look like 2p times 4 is going to be 8p plus 12q equal to 13 times 4, 52. And this equation 4 is going to look like 5p times 3, 15p minus 12q equal to minus 6. Then we add both the equations. 12 and minus 12 cancels. Now we are left with 23p is equal to 46. So p is equal to 46 over 23, which is 2. Now we know the value of p. We can take the value of p and plug it into equation 8p plus 12q equal to 52. We can plug it into that. Or we can plug it into equation 3 anyhow. So 8 times 2 plus 12q is equal to 52. 8 times 2, 16 plus 12q equal to 52. 12q is equal to 52 minus 16. 12q is equal to 36. Then q is equal to 36 over 12, which is 3. So we know the value of p, we know the value of q now. But what is p equal to originally in our problem? P is equal to 1 over x. Remember, and q is equal to 1 over y. So we will bring those values over here. P is equal to 1 over x, we know that, and q is equal to 1 over y. We have found out the value of p to be equal to 2, equal to 1 over x. So x is equal to half. And over here we found out the value of q to be 3. 3 is equal to 1 over y. So y is equal to 1 over 3. So now we have the solution of the equations. X is equal to half and y is equal to 1 over 3. Pretty easy. It's the same way we have learned, the same way that we did in the previous lessons. The only additional step over here is you are taking the non-linear part of the equation and using some other variable and solving the equation. Let's try one more. Okay, solve the following pair of equations by reducing them to a pair of linear equations. Can I write this equation as 5 times 1 over x minus 1 plus 1 times 1 over y minus 2 equal to 2? I can, because it's going to be the same thing. And the second equation, let me write it as 6 times 1 over x minus 1 plus minus 3 times 1 over y minus 2 equal to 1. Let us label these equations as 1 and this as equation 2. Let us take p to be equal to 1 over x minus 1 and q to be equal to 1 over y minus 2. So now our equation 1 will become 5 times p plus 1 times q, which is q, equal to 2. And equation 2 will become 6 times p, 6p minus 3q equal to 1. Let us label these equations as equation 3 and equation 4. Now they form a pair of linear equations in the variables p and q, and we can easily solve this pair of linear equations by any method. If we solve it, say by elimination or any method of your choice, we will land up with the answer p is equal to 1 over 3 and q is equal to 1 over 3. I leave it upon you to solve this pair of equations by elimination method and verify that p is equal to 1 over 3 and q is equal to 1 over 3. And I'm sure you will get it right if you do it diligently without making any mistakes. But the value of p, the equation is 1 over x minus 1. And we found out the value of p to be 1 over 3 equal to 1 over x minus 1. Cross multiply, x minus 1 is equal to 3. We can bring the minus 1 here. So x is equal to 3 plus 1. So x is equal to 4. So we found the value of x. Now we know that q is equal to 1 over y minus 2. That is what we have taken. We found q to be equal to 1 over 3. So we can plug that in, equal to 1 over y minus 2, cross multiply, y minus 2 is equal to 3, move the minus 2 over there, so y will be 3 plus 2, y is equal to 5. So we found x and y for the given pair of equations in the question. Great job, great going, keep trying. Let's try this problem. A boat goes 30 kilometers upstream Upstream means it is going against the flow of the river. A boat goes 30 kilometers upstream and 44 kilometers downstream in 10 hours. Downstream means that the boat is going in the same direction as the flow of the river. In 13 hours, it can go 40 kilometers upstream and 55 kilometers downstream. Determine the speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. So let the speed of the boat in still water be x kilometers per hour, and let the speed of the stream be y kilometers per hour. Remember, we said upstream means the boat going against the flow of the river. Downstream means the boat going in line in the flow of the river. So the speed of the boat upstream against the river will be x minus y kilometers per hour, and the speed of the boat downstream in the direction of the flow of the river will be x plus y kilometers per hour. And we know that time is distance over speed. Let t1 be the time taken for the boat in the first case to travel upstream. What is the distance it travels upstream in the first case? The distance it travels is 30 kilometers. And upstream, what is the speed of the boat? We have taken it to be x minus y. And let t2 be the time taken by the boat to go downstream. In the first case, what is the distance that the boat travels downstream? It's 44 kilometers. And what is the speed when it travels downstream? It is x plus y. So what is the total time for the boat to go upstream and downstream in the first case? It's 10 hours. So 30 over x minus y plus 44 over x plus y is equal to 10. Let's label that as equation 1. So we have reduced the first case of the problem in the form of an equation. Similarly, we can do it for the second part of the problem. So in the second part of the problem, the time taken by the boat to go upstream, T1, is the distance it travels upstream is 40 kilometers. So 40 over the speed upstream is x minus y. The time taken by the boat to travel downstream, T2, in the second part of the problem, the distance traveled downstream is 55 kilometers. So 55 over downstream, which is x plus y. So these two, the total time taken to go upstream and downstream in the second part of the problem is 13 hours. So our equation will look like 40 over x minus y plus 55 over x plus y equal to 13. Let's label this equation as 2. So now we have reduced the problem into two equations. From here on, we can reduce them to a form of linear pair and then solve as usual as we have seen in the earlier problems. Let's see how we go about. So these are the two equations we have. We can now solve them. Let u be equal to 1 over x minus y and v be equal to 1 over x plus y. So then equation 1 will be 30u plus 44y equal to 10. And equation 2 will be 40u plus 55y equal to 13. Let's label these equations as 4 and equation 5. Now we can solve these equations either by cross product or by elimination method. I think cross multiplication will be easier for you to do. Please watch the video on cross multiplication, how you do that, and find the values of u and v. Sorry, it's not y, it's v over here. And when you solve for u and v, u is going to be equal to 1 over 5 and v is going to be equal to 1 over 11. Now we can easily find the values of x and y. We know that u is equal to 1 over x minus y, and we found out u to be 1 over 5. So 1 over 5 is equal to 1 over x minus y. So if we cross multiply, x minus y is equal to 5. And over here, v is equal to 1 over x plus y. And we have found out v to be 1 over 11. So 1 over 11 equal to 1 over x plus y. Cross multiply, x plus y is equal to 11. So now we have these two equations. X minus y equal to 5, x plus y equal to 11. We can easily solve them by the method of elimination. Minus y and plus y cancels. 2x is equal to 16, x is equal to 8. So we found out x. We can take the value of x and plug it into this equation. We get 8 minus y equal to 5. Minus y is equal to 5 minus 8. Minus y is equal to minus 3. So y is equal to 3. So what do we conclude? That the speed of the boat is 8 kilometers per hour and the speed of the stream is 3 kilometers per hour. So the speed of the boat is 8 kilometers per hour and the speed of the stream is 3 kilometers per hour. A pretty lengthy problem, but the process is similar. Everything what we have learned earlier has been applied in this problem, except for the distance formula that was introduced over here. So great going, you have done an excellent job. This brings us to the end of this lesson, and with this, the end of the chapter on the pair of linear equations in two variables. Please keep watching the videos, subscribe and share. Thank you very much.